Check. Kool-Aid.
I'm not touching the instrument. Staying calm with it.
That's wise.
It is wise, especially on camera.
Bullet.
Yes. Mr. Henry.
What's going on, King?
We're getting into our topic. Our first and only topic, to be fair. Because we did a long intro.
That's okay.
It's the first topic of the year as well.
Good topic of the year.
Okay, so my brother, let them know what the topic is.
Okay, so it's an interesting one. There is a phrase that may have been heard by one and all, by all and one.
That's not the phrase, though, no?
No. I literally just came on top of my head and, I freestyling these things. No, there's a phrase that says, to get over an ex, you must get under the next.
Whew.
And I wanted to explore that phrase with you. I wanted to see if you think there's any validity in that phrase, if you think there is any truth in that phrase, or if that's just nonsense that people say. Let's explore.
So, break it down a bit. Break what it means if people are a bit lost on what you mean.
The idea, it could be a blanket statement for many things, but, but the only context I've heard it in is if you're in a relationship with somebody, the way that, and you break up, the way that you get over that relationship is by going having sexual relations with somebody else. That's the phrase or the idea behind it, as far as I'm aware. I don't know if you can speak for yourself. or
I've never
friends. Okay.
Serious,
maybe friends or communications you've had with others, or just the overall idea of it. Do you think that's true? Do you think it's any validity in it? Talk to me.
Oh, it's a deep one, and it's a deep one because I think it comes down to the person.
Okay.
I think breakups are hard work. And everyone deals with them differently.
Talk to me before you go hard work. What do you mean by their hard work?
Like, everyone is affected differently by them. Like, I remember someone saying to me, there's always going to be someone in a relationship breakup, that is affected more than the other.
Yeah.
And they don't understand why that person don't feel like how they feel.
So does it feel...
Well, whatever they feel. Okay. So they may feel like, I want you back, like you're the one I love, like we should be together forever. And the other person doesn't feel like that. So for them, that's to say, have you felt like that the whole relationship? Like, am I a fool? Like, you start doubting then the whole relationship because of the breakup. So I think there's always somebody that feels like that. There is obviously mutual breakups.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But there's always going to be someone that's affected more by that breakup. So I think that statement works for half of the people in a breakup. I think it's a very 50-50
even split.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I get from
Let's explore it more. So would you say it's 50-50 because the person who wants out of that relationship is the one saying that phrase? Or do you think it's the other person saying that phrase? Or is it neither of the two?
I don't think anyone's saying that phrase, but I feel that someone in a relationship feels that way without saying that phrase. So they feel like, you know what? I don't want to think about them. I don't want them to be on my mind. So the next best thing for me to do is go and find someone else.
When they're in the relationship or after?
No, after. So we're talking about the breakup, innit? How to get over an ex.
Yeah.
So obviously when you're in that moment and you're thinking, do I miss this person? You don't even want to be in that moment of contemplation. In order to not even think about that, just move on to the next. So you haven't even got time to even process what it is to break up or not be with that person because you always moved on to the next. And when we get more into it, I think that is the most dangerous stage to be at.
Okay.
But let's stay on what this means first.
So I would say, first, there's two mindsets generally when a breakup happens.
Yeah.
Either both of you know what's going to happen, meaning both of us agree and understand, look, we must break up and we break up. Mutual. Or there is one person that wants to break up and the other person doesn't. And therefore, a phrase like that could be battered around, not to the person who wants to leave, because that person's already made up in their mind that they're leaving.
Yeah.
Relationships no more. But this person over here who is not the person who suggested the breakup or has not envisioned the breakup happening, that person, people may speak to them and say, okay, you need to go do your thing with somebody.
Yeah.
Because you need to get over this whole thing that you're feeling right now. So that happens. And we can talk about whether it's valid or not, whether it's a valid thing. And we can talk about that a little later. But that's the only context in which I see that happening. Because if you've mutually said, look, this isn't working out, you don't think it's working out, I don't think it's working out, let's just go our separate ways, then there is no need for that phrase. Yeah. We're just going our separate ways. There's no getting over an ex because you just mutually gone your separate ways.
Yeah, but then when's the right time? That's another conversation, isn't it? So if you're saying, you were together, I don't know, 3-4 years, you split up. When is then the right time to... What's the end of the statement? Get under when's the next time to get under the next? Like, are you saying you split up with someone mutually, then you're over them? That's it. The next day you wake up, that was a chapter of my life that's closed. Now, surely that's not how things work.
I think sometimes that works.
You think people just close doors, chapters?
I think there's some things that happen in relationships that makes you make those decisions.
Okay.
And that could be various things. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like a negative thing from the relationship. It could just be, look, I'm moving to the States.
Yeah.
You're staying in England. The last time we see each other is this date because I'm getting on an airplane the next day. That could be okay, let me use my brain to switch off. There is no me and you no more. It's just me on my ones.
Okay.
But I think the only reason why that phrase is valid is when there is still connection in some sorts.
Yeah.
Even if it's one way or another, or it's you both still want to break up or don't want to break up, or you're unsure, to sever the tie, that's where that phrase comes in handy for some people, or it's just, a phrase that should be suggested.
So would you consider that like a rebind? Or do you think this is a complete different?
I think it's difficult. It is a rebind because it always starts off as a rebind, and the fear is that it will go into something else. It might just be a new relationship.
What, for the person that is rebinding?
Yeah.
The technical term, rebinding.
Yeah. That's good adjective. Facts being that if someone feels at a loss, they want to be found.
Mm-hmm.
So if they feel lost in life, they want to be found in the bosom of someone that can hold them tight. You know what I mean? That's my romantic, that's my therapeutic tone. Do you know what I mean? Lost and find
the
people.
Bosom,
Yeah. So that's what I think.
So do you think it's that straightforward though?
In the sense of what? Straightforward in what?
Straightforward as in people are able to just turn off like that. And like you mentioned, right, on the 23rd, I'm leaving to go America. We're staying here. As soon as the 24th hits, we're no more.
I think it's difficult because we all have different minds. Yeah. There is two extremes, I'd say. Some people think if you're able to go and get under a next, then that invalidates everything that happened before. Mm-hmm. That means, okay, this wasn't special because you went and did something 2 days later. And I don't think that is true. I don't think it's true to say that if this person goes and does something, it invalidates everything. But that might be the feeling of the other party.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And I think that is, like, that statement, I think that's definitely a statement that's probably held more by someone that's still feeling it.
Yeah. And there are...
Because if you're not feeling it, you don't even see it as to get over your ex. You just see it as moving on. Everyone hears it, you need to move on.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times move on means dating, sex, seeing other people.
Yeah.
Like, that statement is get on with your ex, but we say it as move on, as the nice term. Mm-hmm. And people say it constantly. Is it, brother? You need to move on.
Yeah.
Move on to what? Move on to it, eh?
But it could be also an idea of how much value we place on sex.
Yep.
Because if you're somebody that does value sex and intimacy and pleasure in the context of a relationship, then that's the only place where that should happen.
100%.
But if you're a person who thinks sex is just sex and it's just gratification that people do, then you may not feel that, okay, me getting under a neck is that much of a big deal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Because it's just sex.
So from the outside, it might be like, right, that person moves on pretty fast. But to that person, it's like, no, sex is just another act that.
Yeah. I'm enjoying. I enjoy time with them.
Same way I eat food, the same way I have sex. They may see it equal, whereas someone else may not see it.
So do you feel?
Come on, talk the thing.
That is seen by more a certain gender than the other.
Go on, talk the thing.
I'm just asking. Do you feel? Do you feel this mindset is?
I think
a mindset that is.
You're interestingly saying these things. I think biology.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
biology.
Let me say it like this: the manosphere.
Yeah.
Many people will say that biology means that it sounds like the man would be so dismissive of something and say, yeah, just get over it. Let me just get over it by having sex. It's not a big thing. And the woman would not. That's what we're told. Whether it's true, I don't know. Because there are emotional men, there are non-emotional females as well. So that's kind of the extremes.
I think in my experience...
Yeah, personal experience we're talking, yeah?
No, just experience in general, like whether I'm talking to people, whether I'm talking to Dean Henry, just talk about it don't matter who I'm talking to. Like, I would say you kind of expect it from a man.
To move over.
To say, like, for a man to say, oh, don't worry about her, go and be with someone else. I think it's probably more frowned upon to hear that from a female.
Well, I would say depending on age.
Do you think age plays a part?
I would frown upon a man who is in his late 40s.
Oh, yeah.
Who's just like, I'm just going to move on and just go and beat him with some next girl. I just think that's a bit, okay, boy, we still doing that at that age, yeah? Not the fact of still having sex, because, boy, if this thing still stands up strong,
definitely.
But what I mean is that that mentality is still in our heads.
So do you think, like, that mentality is validation? Yeah.
As in personal validation from the eyes of everyone that
No, from you personally. So if you're 40 years old and you're still breaking up with girls and just going to have... Do you not feel that's something you're trying to validate in yourself? Like, are you not then saying... Do you know what? Even though that didn't work, I've still got it because I can still go and...
Oh, yeah.
You know, I can go over this side and have sex. And regardless if relationships don't work, I know I can always go over this side. Yeah.
To be honest, hearing that, I would hope that can't be the motivation of men in that age bracket.
I think that's the motivation in probably not our age, but...
The younger generation?
No, I'm saying probably between, 18 to 30 maybe. Let's throw them under the bus.
Yeah, no, to be fine, I'd be
let's throw them under the bus, yeah? 18 to... Because we've all been 18 to 30.
Yeah. So if it was happening in those age range, and that's the kind of where I'm hearing this phrase from.
I
don't think people in their 30s, maybe they still are, but I'd expect that in their young ages.
Yeah.
To be like, this person was your boyfriend once. Now this is their boyfriend. Look what's happening. Look how fast they move. Because you're young.
Yeah.
Like life is.
No, but that's why I said
age.
18, because you're an adult. Like when you're in school before that is literally 1 week, 2 weeks is next. But as 18 or 21, you're kind of looked to have an adult relationship. Yeah. So you shouldn't be banks in between.
Between each. Well.
You can if you want. It's
in terms of relationships. No. I hear what you're saying. So in the age brackets between 18 to 30, I would expect those sort of things to take place. When the age brackets from 30 and above, I think men and women should be thinking a bit more and should have learned from previous mistakes. And even more so, relationships shouldn't be easily walked into at those ages. So if you're breaking up with somebody, I'm assuming it's not because you've only dated for 2 months or you were going out for 2 months. I'm expecting a long period of time to be on there. I'm expecting you guys to have problems, but have conversations about it, to discuss, to be grown adults and be like, yeah, okay, this person gets on my nerves, but you know what? Like, I know what relationships are like. I know what adult life is like. Life is difficult. Let's talk and work things through. I don't expect you to be like, now bun that. Let me go draw down this next thing at the late 30s, early 40s age.
So let's throw a curveball. What for those people that haven't had relationships? because I feel I experienced some relationship issues, breakup issues later on in life because I was in a long-term relationship. So maybe what I was going through in my late 20s, some people went through when they was 18. Or some people might even have went through when they were 16.
Oh, you mean like heartache?
Well, just basically those complications around a relationship.
Yeah, that's true.
Like some people went through them a lot earlier than I did. And there may be people that is going to go through it a lot later than I did. They might get to their 30s when they experience this. And we can't say because you're now 30, you can't experience the same pain or the same emotions that someone in their 16-year-old feels, because this may be the first time you've been in love or that you've been in a relationship. So I think it depends on that as well. I think there's a lot of factors. So you could be 41 coming out of a 10-year relationship. And this may be your first breakup. And your mentality might be, in order to get over this, I need to go find someone to sleep with.
Right, I hear it. That might be someone's mentality, but that's not the broad stroke of humans. I don't think it's men or women in their 40s, the majority of us, I'm not in my 40s yet, I don't know what
I know us. Yeah, pick over there, big man.
I got bald head, but calm, yeah. We're still young, yeah. I don't think the majority of us are doing that though. And to be truthful, whether you've been in one relationship your whole life and you're in your late 40s, or you've been in a dozen relationships, I still expect maturity at that age. Do you know what I mean? So if you're 42, 43, and you're like, yeah, boy, man's just hopping a bite, I just got to look at you sideways. Do your thing, though.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
I mean, can't hit the player.
Boy.
Hit the game.
But boy.
No, but do you know what? See, that point I'm arguing is that I think like relationship maturity and personal maturity are different.
Facts, talk the thing. So
that's what I'm saying. Like someone that come out of a long-term relationship later in life may only understand that relationship. So when they come out of that relationship, like I said, they may feel that, you know what? Why midlife crisis? Think how much people get in midlife crisis.
That is a fact.
You know, they get divorced, the marriage is over, then suddenly they're buying these cars, they're trying to relive their teenage years.
Young girl,
dating, Next thing you see them with a 19-year-old and they're in their 40s. Okay. So what I'm saying is I think that statement might apply across the board. Regardless of age. I think it's more to do with your experience in relationships.
You said something just then. There's a difference between maturity in relationship and personal maturity.
100%.
Give me more.
So someone at the age of 40 may have gone through all life experiences. Yeah. So we'll just use a generic person. Yeah. You might have been working, you might have a mortgage, kids, do all of that, which is seen upon maturity. In a stable job, whatever maturity looks like at 40. But they may have only been in short little term relationships and their first long-term relationship has just come to an end. So whereas someone at the age of 16 might have had a 5-year relationship and experienced this at 25, they may now be experiencing those same feelings as a 40-year-old. So although they're personal maturity, they might have everything stable. Now their love life or their relationship side is in a whirl, spin, and all over the place, which will then obviously affect their personal life. But, you know, they can keep a hold on their personal life.
I'm liking this, cuz.
Yeah,
I'm liking this. Let's talk more.
I'm trying, big man. I'm trying.
The reason why is, I'm just going to go on to a point and say, is there any point where this is a valid encouragement you would give to somebody? Is there ever a point where you think, do you know what, brother? To get over this, you need to go do this.
Do you know what? I'm going to say experience tells me no.
There's never,
Experience tells me no.
Come on, talk.
That this is never
an answer.
Oh,
I like the wise wisdoms of Daniel
big man, you know you have to live a life.
Why?
Whew, you want to go deep?
Yeah, talk the thing.
So I think when you're in that mind state, especially if you're the breakup mindset, especially if you're the person that's affected by it, you need to do all you can to rebuild yourself. As a person, you need to add value back to yourself. You need confidence. You need self-respect. You need to do all of that stuff to build up yourself, to make yourself feel important.
confidence, validation. 2 words.
Yeah.
Can that not come by going and running and getting beat?
No, because then when that beat's finished, you're back to where you were.
But doesn't that build your confidence and give you validation? I'm just using.
You should.
Devil's advocate at this moment. You know what I mean? Me and the devil don't usually side. So
no, I don't believe it does, because then you're just going to go onto the net. It's going to be a constant. You're going to be constantly then looking for confidence and validation. So when that finishes, what's the next thing you need to do? So go on to the next person.
Exactly. So this is what I'd say. I agree with you to an extent. I think it does give validation and confidence, but it doesn't give lasting validation and lasting confidence. So what you see a lot of things happen, especially with young people, is when they break up or come out of a big long-term relationship. You see it with females. As soon as they come out of a relationship, if they got a little bit of money, they might get their breasts done. They might go out and start running true.
Yeah.
Running true. Like they might have. they might have married a short ginger man.
Yeah.
So now that short ginger man they've been married to for 10 years, they know now every Friday that a tall Italian man.
Okay.
See what I did? You see what
I did? Yeah. I see what you did.
You see. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So they may feel, this person likes me. Boom, this person just happened. Validation. That validation's weaning off. Let me text somebody else. Let me do a snap. Let me Snapchat a certain way.
Not toxic?
This gives me validation. It's toxic, but to that individual, they don't understand it. They don't see it.
No, of course they don't.
They think it's validation. So
boom,
they break up. New picture on the Instagram. New snap.
Yeah, looking good. New car. New this,
on Friday. Boom.
Yeah.
This new, that new. Next week, boom, and it's happening so often. So there's a little bit of validation that they're getting, even though it's small. They get validation from Instagram likes. They get validation by someone jumping in their DMs. They get a snapshot of genitalia. they get. Do you know what I mean? That over 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, a week, 2 months.
Yeah. And
they feel validated, but really, if it stopped, so would their validation
100%.
and their confidence.
100%.
So when you say they should build up their validation and confidence, you mean they need to get their validation and confidence in something that is more secure in them as a person, rather than confidence and validation that they get from other people or being in a relationship or sexual partners.
Fact. Big man, that's just what I said. So why did you need to break it down and re-say it?
No. I think it's important to break it down, because what you said, I don't want it to go overstated. I don't want people just to swim past it. I think that's really important.
Yeah. And the thing is, I would stand by that.
Because especially for women or men, both people.
Yeah, no, I'm not. And it probably appeals more to women than it does to men. Mm-hmm. But I think it's probably more important for men.
Because when men and women break up, and if they start running around and sleeping with different people and getting under different people, they start pushing their chest up and feeling confident about themselves. Mm-hmm. But it is so sinking sand.
Yeah,
their foundation is literally sinking sand. There's nothing solid.
That's what I'm saying. There's no foundation.
That's perfect thoughts, man. I ain't gonna lie, brother. That was.
Because
the reason why I was gonna say that is because I thought I was initially gonna say, there is a time when I would suggest that to somebody, but it's only for momentary value.
Do you know what though? There is a time.
Go on.
And I think they have to be at the end of like.
And that's also important.
Like that, they're literally like we're saying, like me and you's having a conversation and you're saying to me, brother, like, I'm suicidal.
Okay.
And I'm like, what? Like you need to go to the gym, you need to eat, you need to do these things. No, I just can't. Like maybe then I could say, oh, didn't my girl like you? And just so you can get something positive in your life.
Yeah.
To maybe use as a building block. But then it's still going to be top, because if that finishes or if that breaks up, then you're back to that place, and now you've even got more on top.
No, but do you know what? Do you know what's good about what you just said? What's good about what you just said is you sometimes getting under somebody else to get over an ex really means get your eyes off of that.
Yeah.
Meaning.
A distraction.
A distraction, brother. Mm-hmm. So whether it's a momentary distraction that's sexual or it's not sexual,
I don't have to be sexual.
You need to have your eyes somewhere else. So if for most, when I got divorced,
Oh, here we go. Sit up. Move the mic. Sit up.
Do you know what's gonna happen? There's a viewer that says they've got a bet. How often when is he gonna talk about divorce? When's he gonna talk about his fucking divorce? Oh, they're so over it. I get nobody cares about me like that. There's no sympathy. There's no sympathy. These people don't care when I say that.
It's experience.
Okay, let's calm.
It's lived life experience.
I'm not begging for sympathy. I'm using it as an example. But what I mean is, as soon as I got divorced, the first thing I said to myself, after you go after the depression, is like, let me work on me. So I went to the gym, which gave me a routine.
Yep.
Every day I was waking up early and going to the gym before work. Then I was thinking, okay, when I come back from the gym, it's like healthy eating. All right, what am I eating today? Okay, cool. Let me try and eat more healthier food. Nah, I'm not going to eat that. I'm not going to drink that. And it distracts your mind.
Yes.
And if you've got other things you're working on, not just your health, your physical appearance, if you're thinking about, I haven't spoke to people in ages. Where's the man then? Where's the girl then? Where's the people I used to hang around with? Or it's sports. Boy, I haven't played football in years. We go kick ball. Yo, what, any sports football teams that's coming up? Okay, what, Saturday league? Okay, yeah, boom, boom. You need your eyes off of the relationship or the other person. And that's how you're going to better yourself. And I'm just saying stuff you said. It was perfect.
No. All right. So
it's right.
What I want to do now is flip that.
Go on.
So we agree that's where it is. But in order to do that, there's another person involved, and I feel you need to make your intentions clear, because then you may be leading this person down a road that you're not even trying to go down yourself. So that's why I said at the start I wouldn't recommend it. You need to work on yourself. And I said at the last stage I would, but you're dragging someone else in that hole with you now.
So, it's good point, mate. Good point. The way I define sexual relationships is adults doing adult things. And when you're in a relationship with somebody, when you're being intimate with somebody, there is that fear or probability that there's going to be some ties.
Yeah.
Some contexts, some people call it soul ties. That's going to take place when you're having intimate moments with individuals. And you've also, whether you think it's your responsibility or not, have to take some kind of accountability for how they feel.
100%.
This new person when you're with them.
Yeah.
So if you speak to them and have that conversation before, do you know what? I just broke up from this person. I'm not really trying to have a relationship right now. And then you just hang out. And then things happen. That's different to, okay, boom.
Yo, you like my picture? What are you saying? Let me come round tonight.
That's different. It's different.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people lose that, and that's something I would always promote. Yeah. If you're in that stage and just be honest with that person. Let them know this is where you're at. Let them know this is where you're going to. And 95% of people will be like, yeah, I'm not on a rebind thing. But there's a 5% out there that might be going through the same thing.
And it's respectable if you say those things. Because if people are looking for relationships, you're not wanting to do a relationship, don't talk like you're going to be in a relationship.
Yeah. Selling the dreams. Selling dreams. You know, there's certain people like that, you have to sell dreams.
What do you mean?
To sell people dreams.
Some people sell people dreams, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying I'd say to people, just sell dreams.
What do you mean?
Because I feel, if you go in a bit too serious, sometimes that scares people away. Like you said, you might first just hang out as friends and build. Like if you go into, especially females, right, this is what I want. I want a long-term commitment. I want children in 2 years. I want to be married by the time I'm this age. I need a house. I need a dog. A lot of people are like, whoa.
That's too much, too intense.
Like, I hear that and I love the fact that you've got these things, but it's too intense.
Yeah.
Say to me, you know what? Let's hang out. Let's do this. Let's do that. And in the future, we'll see where it goes.
And don't get me wrong, so that is a good mindset to have. But don't think that if you have that mindset, the sea of people that you can talk to is going to be huge.
Yes.
If you go on with like, okay, this is my ramification, this is my list.
We've done the list. We did the list.
The next 5 years looks like. You need to be on this list. If that person's not on it, then fine. Tell them that, and then they're going to go, and then you're going to have a sea of maybe 6 people left or 2 people left or whatever. And it's appropriate.
Down your list.
Filter it down, mate. Filter it down.
What are you saying? Your time's running out for you, isn't it?
No,
I thought you were confident to put time.
No. But I was just going to say, that's literally what it is. It's time for people. So women normally have a list because their biological clock is running out.
Yeah.
So they can't, to some extent, if they don't have children and they want to have children, then they are going to be able to say those things. And it's understandable for them to say those things because they want something serious. Yeah. Whereas men may not usually have those kind of things in mind. So
with that again, do you think that's another validation thing? So do you think lists and non-negotiables, what we spoke about before, do you think that is part of the validation? Like you've been in a relationship, these hasn't touched these, so now you're not going to get into a next one. So this is like, I'm working on myself. Mm-hmm. So these are my tick lists I need for me to better myself.
Before you go into something?
Yeah. So like, right, I need a man that does this, this and this. And that is part of me working on myself, is to only be with the guys that offer this. And the same with a man. A man might say, you know what? I'm going celibate, or I've got these non-negotiables and I'm not going to be with any girls after my relationship unless they tick these boxes. And that's validation for me because I'm worth this.
Personal validation, I have nothing against personal validation.
Yeah.
And personal lists. So if you got a personal list that validates you, who you are as a person and who you think you want to be or who you are,
there we go.
Then it's fine. Then it's fine. As long as your validation, your list doesn't invalidate other people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I don't mind if a girl comes to me and says, "Yo, Dean,
here we go.
I need
Here we go.
I need a man that has 3 houses." I'm like, yeah, cool. I get you. I don't have 3 houses, so so cool. Peace, innit?
Yeah.
Do you get it? Like I don't feel inferior because of another person's list, even if they want to make me feel inferior.
Do you not?
I'm confident in myself.
Okay, I hear that.
And I'm confident because of the person I want to become.
But that's what I'm saying. That's because you've took time
100%
to work on yourself. Now,
100%.
If, as you said, after your marriage, you were thinking, you know what, this is the girl I want. You went to her and said, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I need that guy with 3 houses. Your confidence would have took a battering.
It wouldn't have took a... Oh, you mean early on?
Yeah. When you... No, but I'm saying before you had... No, not now, but I'm saying before you worked on yourself. And,
100%.
You know, if that was your straight action after and you went and did that, like your confidence would have took a battering where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not good enough. I'm not that. But you've took time to work on yourself.
So my encouragement would be for people who are single to work on yourself. Don't be idle with your time.
Yeah.
And don't be idle with it. Like, we don't have long on this earth, but don't be idle with your time. And also, so whether you're single or you've just come out of a relationship, I say the exact same thing. Work on yourself.
No, 100%.
Even if, like, cool, your desire is to get into somebody else. All right, cool. But to work on yourself alongside all of this. And then you'll realize, right, maybe after 1, 2, or 3, you're like, I just want to focus on me, man. I want to be a better human being and be a better person. And I think when people don't have those markers, when they don't have something to look towards or look at, then they start doing these things that are hurtful to other people.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
It's a deep one, you know. It's a deep one. Just because if you try to have those conversations with people that believe that in order to get over someone, you need to be with someone else, then it's going to be a difficult conversation to have.
Yeah.
Because I will always argue you need to put yourself first. But I know I've had conversations with people that have said, in order to get over an ex, get under an ex. And I'm like, do you know how toxic that sounds? Like, have you worked on yourself?
Horrendously toxic.
And they're like, well, I don't need to because I've got all this attention. I've got this, I've got that. You know, them ones, I've already got stuff I need in my life. I'm just not in a relationship.
And that also may be true.
Yeah.
There's some people who don't need to work on themselves because they've worked on themselves enough and they're perfectly happy with who they are.
I think a lot of single people probably, 2-3 years? I think if you've been single for 2-3 years, you've done a lot of soul searching, you've worked on yourself, you kind of know who you are, you know what you're about. Obviously, if you're able to self-reflect, some people ain't. And then I think maybe in that situation, you're over your ex now, you can do that.
Yeah.
But I think if you're straight out of a relationship, I'd say 6 months. I would encourage everybody, straight out of a relationship, celibate 6 months.
Yeah, celibate for 6 months. That's a good...
That's what I would say.
But I would say almost the exact same thing, I'd say it like this. If you're ever in a toxic situation, you should not have intercourse or sexual relationships with anyone else except for the person who is doing the toxicity.
No,
Let me explain it.
But here am I saying that I live by.
Go on.
Yeah?
Go on, talk.
You can't be healed by the person who hurts you. That's
100%.
it.
No, what I mean by that is hurt people. If you just come out of a toxic thing, don't go and spread your toxic seed.
What? Just spread it back to the person?
No, don't spread it out as toxic seed. The only way that you should be spreading your toxic seed, if you are spreading it, is if you're in like a relationship, or if you are in a marriage. What I mean by that is, if you're toxic, deal with the toxicity.
Okay.
So if you're,
you mean like deal with it in?
Yeah, deal with it in house.
Okay, yeah, in house, yeah.
So and if you dealt with it in house and you cannot survive in that toxicity because you're married to someone who's toxic, then get out of that toxicity but don't still be toxic. Heal this person, and then you can move on.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Because I think a lot of
you
us
might not know you're the toxic one, though.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
That's the thing. Well, we don't hold each other accountable, and we don't hold ourselves accountable oftentimes. That's true.
You know, you might come out of that relationship the toxic thinking the other person's the toxic. So you know what? Why am I going to change? I'm not going to change. I'm who I am.
That's true.
You know, and like you said, some people might not hold you, especially if it's your friends.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to hold a friend accountable because you only hear their side of the story.
And we don't foster cultures or environments oftentimes where holding each other accountable is normal. And that's where you need to get to a point where, and I think people do get there when you hear people who's been in friendship circles for years and they're grown adults, they can hold each other accountable.
I hold people accountable all the time. I don't know if I like being held accountable myself, but listen, if I think someone is making a bad decision, I ask them why they're doing it, what they get from it, and do they understand the repercussions of that decision.
To be fair, you do. To be fair,
I do, and I know. But every friend can sit here and say, and maybe it seems like, brother, you're in on my business. Like, why? Like, leave me. Like, who are you to preach, big man? Who are you to preach? But say it to me, innit? I don't know if I like it, and I probably don't like it if it happens to me. But I will say to a man, boom, boom, boom. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, we're here.
I don't say it to people.
In fear of what? Well, maybe not fear. I'm using fear because that's a word, but
fear is probably the wrong word. But I don't mind the word, just because it's like I don't expect perfection from nobody but myself. Does that make sense? Like if you're doing something, I'm like, yo, brother, you sure you want to do that? That's all I'll say. I mean, you sure, brother? All right, cool. For me, it's not a conversation. It's not a long. Let me explain this, bruv. Because this, and I'm not sitting you down or anyone down and saying this. Because I don't expect perfection from nobody, but I damn sure do expect perfection from me.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I do things, I have to hold myself and be like, Dean, that was such a dumb move.
But are you able to do that in that situation?
In the moment, nah. I reflect. In reflection, I am perfect. Do you get it? I'll be like, let me, like, for example, we come to the end of the year. I'm like, I look back at all of my circles, everything I've interacted with, everyone I've interacted with, and I've said, you did good there, you did bad there.
Okay.
You did horrendous there. Fix up there. And I hold myself accountable. But in the moment, it's bad some vibes, isn't it? It's a movie. It's a movie. Do you know what I mean? It's a movie. And that's terrible for me to think like that because there's so many situations where it could go dire. So yeah.
You have to live life.
You do have to live, man. You do have to
live. And if I'm around, I'll hold you accountable. So whether or not you listen to me or care what I've got to say, it doesn't matter, brother. But I always ask the question.
Nah, I hear you.
I'm the guy where they say, you can't say that. I'll say, why can't I say that? I can get me whether they accept it or not. I know I never ever have any intentions to be rude.
And it's not a bad mind thing. Yeah.
Like to be bad mind. Never have any intentions of that. It's always I'm interested to understand the way you see things because I may see things differently. Yeah. Not to say I say things right either. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's kind of the approach I take. My brother, we have spoke for 40 minutes and ended the conversation nowhere near what the conversation topic was.
That's a fact.
But that's what we do, man. We are the broken generation.
Things get broken.
Have you got time for a little outro?
We got time for the outro, man. Let's talk the thing. Yeah, man.
Ready to throw the outro in?